Echoes from the Past: A Young Man's Search for Love and Identity. Written by MoBoni Lewis. Narrated by Afton Jordan. Chapter 1. My Childhood. RJ and I were very close. He was the father I never had, and I was one of the many sons with whom he surrounded himself. You see, my real dad, Brian, left when I was 2 years old, according to my mother, Lorna. They'd been childhood sweethearts, or so she thought. But Brian, being very adventurous, soon left Mum for the thrill. Rick Doe, my stepdad, wasn't much of a father to me. He was always very angry and oftentimes very violent. Mum said it was because he'd had a very difficult childhood. I came back from school one afternoon to find Mum crying. She'd been beaten black and blue by Rick for expressing a desire to find my dad. I ran over to Mum almost immediately. A part of me felt responsible for her pain, but Rick asked me to stay away. I was being shipped off to Aunt Becca, my Mum's older sister, who lived several miles away. No explanations were given, except that I was no longer a part of the family. I wept sore. I was only 7. That evening, Rick dropped me off at the train station and handed me over to some guard, then left without a word. I banged on the train window as it pulled out of the platform, crying for Mum and wondering if I'd ever see her again. The train journey lasted over 6 hours, and by the time we arrived in Bay, where Aunt Becca lived, I could hardly walk. Rick hadn't paid the full fares, so I had to sit in the luggage compartment with my legs up for the entire journey. The guard was very nice and gave me some sandwiches and a glass of milk. He told me he had a little boy named Simon. I sat there wondering if Simon had a kind face like his dad. Half an hour later, Aunt Becca arrived in her blue Volkswagen. I hadn't seen her since I was 4, but recognized her almost immediately. Her face hadn't changed, but since she lost a lot of weight and looked much older. "Henry!" she called out loudly, running towards me and holding out her arms, expecting me to run into them. My legs were still kind of sleepy, so I sauntered towards her as fast as I could.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?